Welcome back. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. India and the European Union have officially concluded nearly 2 decades of negotiations and announced a historic FTA at the India-EU summit in New Delhi. The deal, dubbed the mother of all deals by leaders on both sides, aims to slash or eliminate tariffs on over 90% of goods traded between India and the EU, boosting two-way commerce and investment across sectors like textiles, pharmaceuticals, automobiles, machinery and services. PM Narendra Modi called it a breakthrough that could reshape global trade, connecting markets that together account for about a quarter of global GDP and a potential consumer base of nearly 2 billion people. Key elements include phased tariff cuts, including major reductions in European cars entering India, and broader market access for Indian exports. Economists say the FTA not only deepens economic ties, but helps both sides diversify trade amid shifting global tariff regimes. Let's now take a look at the 10 big takeaways from the India-EU trade deal. Let me take you through that, viewers. So let's get to that, the 10 biggest takeaways. Now let's talk about takeaway 1. 100% duty-free access in gems and jewelry. Takeaway 2, viewers. Preferential access for Indian engineering goods. Takeaway 3, tariffs on leather and footwear slashed from 17% to 0%. Takeaway 4, immediate zero duty on 100% tariffs, lines and value on textiles. Takeaway 5, complete tariff removal on aircraft and spacecraft. Takeaway 6, tariffs on medical and surgical equipment removed for 90% of products. Takeaway 7, tariffs of up to 44% on machinery, 22% on chemicals and 11% on pharma to be eliminated. And takeaway 8, tariffs on EU's fruit juices and processed food eliminated. Takeaway 9, marine seafood to get full preferential access. And 10 would be duty-free entry on 97.5% chemical and petrochemical exports. That, viewers, are all the takeaways that we've just shared with you. And we've, of course, collated it for you to make it easier for you really to understand. Now I want to go across to Mr. MK Agarval, who's a senior economist, and I also have with me Mr. Karori Singh, who's a foreign affairs expert. Mr. Agarval, how do you see these takeaways that we've just shared with our viewers?
Yeah, this slashing down tariff to 0% on almost wide range of items of export from India. Definitely, these are the items being produced in the MSME sector. And remember the Prime Minister when he exhorted the nation, go for, be vocal for local and go global. So now that is proving correct because his strategy has been that. And one thing more, before this type of trade deal was struck, the country has reformed like anything. For example, we have brought out 25 crore people out of poverty line. Then essentials have been provided, that is entitlements have been completed in most of the items across the country. Then what we find that the new middle class has emerged in the Indian economy. Why these countries are interested in Indian economy? They find that we are the largest growth making country with largest share of the middle class and demographic dividend, and this has attracted these countries more, and they have been now more courteous in terms of granting so many concessions to Indian exports. So definitely this will boost India's prospects. This will further consolidate our Swadeshi Karan. And Swadeshi Karan does not mean that we should close down our economic relationship with others. It means we should further, give boost to our own strengths, our own production lines. So this is what is being done. For example, if we are able to export more of the engineering products, who is benefiting? Our economy is benefiting. If more shoes are being exported, more textiles are more clothes are being exported, who is benefiting? Our, you can say, MSME sector largely they are benefiting. And that to look at Bangladesh, our very strong rival, they are not able to sustain in the global market because of their own domestic political problems. So we have to take advantage of that situation, and we are taking advantage of that. Similarly for medical equipments and other things. So the list that you have provided, it is quite encouraging, and that's why I say, as the things would be coming out more and more, and documents would be available in the public domain for study, then all airs would be doubts will be clear, and rather it will give us more optimism to go for further economic activities. And definitely now we can claim that by 2030 maybe we are a 8 to 10 trillion dollar economy, and by 2047 this way we can become the developed country. And definitely our definition of developed country is different from what today is being defined by the Westerners. So Vaishali, I find that this way we are transforming our economy towards good, and it will have definitely some impact on others. If I say others, it is the US economy and it is the China economy as well. That's
Right. I want to go across now to Mr. Karori Singh. Mr. Karori Singh, of course, is a foreign affairs expert. Mr. Karori Singh, of course, surely I'd like your comments as well on the key takeaways that we've just shared.
Vaishali, in fact, I would like to put together two things. The major takeaways from the trade agreement and joint statement. As you have described the joint statement, it's not merely the trade agreement, but it's an all-comprehensive partnership and cooperation between European Union and India. So that the European Union attaches great importance to India, and that is why not one but two European top officials, the Chief of European Commission and Chief of European Council, they were sent to India to conclude the negotiations. But you have also mentioned that it took decades of negotiating process, because European Union is not moving hurriedly on any direction. They are very slow and steady in a systematic way. That is why it has taken place. Now the question remains is whether this cooperation and partnership will be substitute of bilateral relations with the European Union member countries. I don't think it's the substitute, but it's the broad framework of India, European Union cooperation and partnership. So under that broad framework, India will continue to have bilateral relations with European countries, to have some agreements, bilateral relations. So it's not a substitute of bilateral relations. For instance, India may have the Rafale agreement with France, or similarly some kind of agreement of defense weapons with Spain or Germany, like that. So it's the broad framework, and I think the broad framework appears very, very comprehensive. But one apprehension I have, because considering the style and nature of President Trump, as the President Trump threatened Canada while Canada was concluding agreement with China, ultimately Canada has paused the agreement with China due to the Trump's threat. So how the Trump will react, the reaction has not come so far, but definitely so far as I understand, the Trump and United States will react on the India European Union partnership. So how the US reacts, I think that will be very, very important, how that reaction will affect the European Union and Indian policies. So we shall have to watch that. Let us see how US reacts. But certainly this is the win-win situation and comprehensive partnership to serve the interest of both the country, both the entities. And I think it will certainly energize the relations between the two entities as well as the global community and global economy. Let us see how things move and how this agreement and partnership proves the new is a pillar of the emerging world order. So we shall have to look forward how things move ahead. I think everything will be okay, and India and European Union both will be the gainer, and they will promote their economy, their partnership, and India will be, I think, in certain respect, will be more gainer in terms of employment generation, in terms of joint ventures and manufacturing in India jointly with the European Union countries. So all these things, I think the tilt will be the Indian side. India will be more gainer than the European Union. It's simply convergence of interests of both the European Union and India over Vaishali.